Eh bien, bonjour à tous.
Welcome and good morning, everyone, and welcome to Domaine des Fontaines, which quite evidently is remotely done today. You understand that with the actual context, we were obliged to innovate and do things differently and put digitalization to the service of communication because it is really important for us to give you the information to communicate on the Horizon project. This is a really important project for us, and we'll let you discover it now without further ado, without having to wait for a release of the lockdown. We decided to opt for this remote event. Know that throughout this presentation, I'll give a lengthy introduction trying to present as much as possible the concept linked to this Horizon project, but you can at any time write your question in the chat feature of this webinar. There will be an interruption at a given moment later on, and all the team will join me to reply to your answer to your question. Sorry. Know that there are no taboos, there are no topic which are too difficult. The important thing is that there is no misunderstanding and everybody receive the needed information. Maybe I'll introduce myself because not everybody know me yet. Seen the context, I couldn't meet you yet. I'm Julian Murray, new general director of Matra Electronics since 1st of January 2021. I've been working in industry all my career, several industrial environment. A part of my career was in Alcatel submarine networks for submarine wiring for the Alcatel group, which became Nokia later on. Then another part of my career was in automotive, and then I moved to the pharma industry. So you see quite a broad panel of industrial environment, and many of them have welcomed me in difficult moments, financially speaking, for the financial context. So we needed to be resilient, flexible to face the crisis in different sectors. And I never had the opportunity prior to conceive from A to Z a new industrial site as the one I'm going to present to you today. So it is a great achievement on an industrial level and on a personal and professional level as well. I will have the occasion to welcome the team that has. Let's move on the presentation and to go back on the genesis of the Horizon project. Matra Electronic, as you know, our baseline is the flexibility of a middle-sized company and the power of a group. We want to be a provider. We want to give satisfactory replies to the needs of our customers. You come with a problem, an idea, and we should be able to give you the answer and the means to implement it. This is our core reason. It has always been like that, or at least I think, but since the creation of Matra Electronic by Jean-Luc Lagardère, it is really important for us to take account of the needs of the customer from A to Z. Now, to answer to these needs, we have attained a limit. The limit we have now is our production tools. For those of you who had the chance to come to La Croissantour, our production production site have seen that one of the disadvantages of this industrial site is its geographical position. On the one hand, on the one side, you have a magnificent wood, and on the other side, you have a cemetery. So you understand quite well that in order to enlarge your production capability, this is not the best option available. In order to increase the quality of our service and our power of production, we needed to rethink about our production tool. We built three different scenarios. A first one, which was to rethink the actual site and renew it. The second possibility was to renew the actual site and enlarge it. And the third option was to create a completely new production plant. In the end, we went with this third option, and we want to create a new production site on a new territory, which is the industrial zone of Bois Plaisance. This is an area which is in Le Grand Complenois, which is an industrial territory. This will have the advantage to give us space in respect to the actual production site, and to create a really powerful industrial network on a territory that we know well already. What I'd like to propose is to go into detail in the new production site and its geographical area. So through a short video, you'll understand the organization of the new site. This will be our new production plant with the higher part, which is the logistic part I'll be presenting later on. And inside you will see really open spaces. This is an innovation for us. It's our capacity to work in a flexible set. So I'll get back to this. On the left hand side of this building, there is a smaller building, which is the social building, where you'll have the social spaces and the canteen. And one of the main advantages of this is that we are 5 minutes from the A1 motorway. So to be able to get to the site, you will be a lot easier, and it will be also a strong point for us to be more attractive, because we are not too far from Roissy Charles de Gaulle Airport, the railway, and the motorway. So we decided to change completely this industrial installation, and this was the main point of our project. The building, as you've seen, to give you some figures without getting sidetracked too much, 18,700 square meters of a building with a little over 8,000 square meters of workshop, and a project of 40 million euros. You'll see that 40 million euros for this kind of installation. I talked about the genesis. I showed you roughly the building, but know that Horizon is not only a building, a facility building project, is a more holistic project. We started on stronger pillars, performance, innovation, responsible, and flexible. And these four pillars managed all our actions. So we wanted to have a societal responsibility approach to improve our carbon print and reduce our energy consumption. And you'll see we looked for this in the building of this new site. In this search for innovation, I will present, first of all, the innovation that we have envisaged for operational excellence and performance. The first one is surveillance, and you'll see a short animation to show you the industrial supervision. This is the capacity to connect our process through automation and to have a real-time feedback in the form of big data on a tool that we call Panorama, and to be able to interpret this real-time data to interact with our processes and our structures. This is a tool that we already implemented in the historical site in La Croix-en-Franc. The idea was really test the feasibility and performance of this system. We have seen that it could be really interesting for industrial performance. Now, if tomorrow I have to interact with the pick and place line, which presents a fault, I have a intervention and reaction capacity which is improved by 10 times. The technical teams can intervene in the minutes following the fault, whilst you needed several hours beforehand in order to do that. So supervision is really an important tool. Now you'll see implement this kind of tool in any kind of environment is challenging. Among other innovation that we try to benchmark and implement in the new plant, we also have the whole logistics chapter. I presented this IV, which is small robots with laser environment acknowledgement that are able to move in the space and transport the pieces to the work from the warehouse to the workshop. So this IV can transport more than 30 kilograms in on his tray, and so make the link in between the warehouse and the workshop. You'll see that these robots not only do the links in between logistics and workshop, but also in between a workshop where the project team will be able to talk with people that actually worked on the implementation of the plant. You'll see lots of coherence and performance in the flux management, but there are still workshops that were dissociated, separated. So we try to find a way to link these through the IV instead of linking them through a human being which had to walk kilometers with the ensuing dangers. So we place technology to the service of industrial performance. Another element that we wanted to take into account in the design is the collaborative engineering. For me, this is really a determining topic. You know that in Matra Electronic, we are not always developers. We do not always have industrial and intellectual property on what we make. Normally, people come to see us for serious production and industrialization. So the work that we can do is a co-design work, which could be carried out in a collaborative space. This is a dedicated area positioned in our new plant that we've tested in our historic plant, which is completely connected through videos, allowing us to zoom on the prototypes and work together. Remotely, we have the designers, and on the other side of the screen, the people carrying out the prototypes, creating the prototypes, can interact in real time, zoom on the prototypes, and carry out correction, amendments, and so on and so forth. So it is really a step forward into digital to allow for remote co-creation and co-design. So we strongly believe in this collaborative engineering system because this lowers the cost, it lowers the challenges and the constraints, everything that will be able to think about beforehand will be less problems in the making. So this is something we work really strongly at. This is really some samples of all the things that we have, all the news that we have and innovations that we have. We also carried out strong work on the MIS, so the interface in between the technical teams and the operators. So you know, in the design of your products, we have team for design and methods, creating using specific tools to create to create your product. So the MIS, we are working on a 4.0 version, allowing to MES, sorry, allowing to work with all the tools in a digital manner. So we are able to trace the production process from A to Z, and the operator through numerization and virtualization, sorry, can be always followed by the method team and the technical team. All this is a digital work at the service of performance. As I said previously, we will be working and reinforce our innovation on a societal plan. What do I mean for that? First of all, we need to lower our carbon print. This is done through energy savings. I will talk again about supervision. I'll talk a lot about that. This is a really well-performing tool on activities, but it is also well-performing on lowering the energy consumption. Concretely, thanks to the big data real-time transfer, I can connect and automate all the means, for instance, the boiler, HAVC, and so on and so forth. And the system can inform me on eventual faults. For instance, a boiler that overworks, overproduces, um, and I can manage that. So the tool will alert me when there's a too high a consumption, and I can lower it and save energy. This is really a good news. Already today, we were looking for energy savings as much as possible. On the last 5 years, we lowered our energy consumption by 30%. So a lot of work on that, but we were at a turning point. We could not make further savings without changing our system. So this new installation will allow us to go further in this energy savings adventure. Then we will have charge station for electrical vehicles. Our fleet will have more and more electrical vehicles. And another element for energy consumption and work condition is a natural light environment. I do not see if you've seen it lately. We have large windows which are on all the ceilings, and these are called sheds. Sheds have the advantage to bring natural light and to perfectly use zenithal light to give perfect lighting throughout the day. And the second point is a smoke exit point in case of a fault. So we took a constraint, which is a design linked to fire safety, and we transform it in an advantage to give more safety to our workers. So we went further in the safety of our workers, because you know they do manual work, and so it is important for them to be in a safe environment.
As you already saw from the pictures that I saw, there are lots of meadows, lots of grass. As you can see from our website, there are lots of difficulties to do more because we have most of our land is already occupied. So it was impossible to add some more. While in the new factory, we will have more loans. Next to the factories, we have more than 3,000 square meters of lawn, and this means that in case we will need more space, we will have this space because we will have open space because it will be possible to put down the walls. Everything is modular, and we will be able to use the 3,000 square meters that we have in lawn. And this is really important in the design of the new factory. We are really proud to have this opportunity. Then speaking about the grass and the empty space around, they will also be nicer and more attractive for our workers because we know that you work better if you work in a nice place. So we are trying to improve working conditions, and we are trying also to improve our corporate social responsibility. Now, after speaking about some technical and social innovations, I would like to have a look at some another aspect of a project, and in particular I would like to go inside the building. Let's start with the logistic building. It is quite a big building, 12 meters in height. We try to maximize the volumes by doubling our capacity of storage capacity in comparison to the one that we have. The CMS workshop, it is really the demonstration of automation in service, serving the performance. Some of you already know that we have already started investing in new types of production, from screen printing to pick and place, with vapor phase. So new types of production that is much more innovative. For example, pick and place. With this technique, we improved our production capacity. Now we are going to start using a system that works 4 times quicker, keeping the same level of quality. The whole CMS workshop has been designed to have different volumes. So there could be a small series, a big series, as it is the case today, with lots of technical details, but it is also possible to think about a mid or big production with a complete and automated process, enabling operators of the SMS workshop to pilot 1 or 2 production lines at the same time. So it is a completely new project in the same area. Perhaps it is not really possible to see it from this photo, but we will be able to have a blank space, as it is the case today for some of our areas. In these blank spaces will be bigger, but then there will be also complete production lines, pick and place, screen printing, and so on and so forth outside this blank area. The idea is to make sure that everywhere in the factory there is all the time control of the dust, hygrometry, temperature, in order to reduce the electrostatic risk everywhere in the facility. So from the design, as you will see, there is a team of collaborators working on this aspect a lot, because we want to make sure that the infrastructure guarantees good parameters of ESD risk, hygrometry, temperature, and so on and so forth. This means that we were able to open spaces as much as possible because as a result, we will be able to tailor our spaces on the basis of the demand, including our CMS workshop. But now let's continue with the different area of our factory, especially the wire cabling area and border area and integration. So this is mainly a manual task. And in this case, we try to reconfigure the space. So it will be possible to reconfigure, to reset the spaces on the basis of the demand of our clients. So it will take some days or some weeks to reorganize the layout of the space and create specific spaces on the basis of the demand. It will be possible to do it also in the future. So this was a priority for us. Now let's continue with that journey into our factory and let's go to the test and SAV workshop. Our green belt or yellow belt. This is a team of workers working in innovation. Then there is black belt animating them. So the idea was to increase productivity, keeping the consistency of the factory. So the idea was to put together test and SAV workshop and put them in the place where you can see them. And it means that we increase our competitiveness because we can share material and human resources that are consecrated, that are dedicated to these activities, because there is the two activities have the same need, the same people and material. So it is possible to face problems in a much quicker way. And once again, this doesn't go against industrial safety because there will be a closed test area for activities with the classified material. So the claim that the leitmotif of all this is openness, open spaces. And once again, there will be also coating potting workshop and metrology. So about coating potting, we worked a lot to replace chemical products. For those who know this sector, there are some risks for the environment and people deriving from chemical products. So we try to replace them by using products that could be turned into powder and that can be used automatically, that can be sprayed automatically. And the results of the tests are really good. So there will be a new way of carrying out this coating potting activity. This is a really good. This improves the working conditions, working standards, but also quality. So this is to say that we are doing our best. The idea is to turn into completely automated coating activity. We tested some autonomous coating procedures for in our workshops, and we try to put them the workshop in different areas because it is also a really good opportunity. It makes us really flexible if you can move around this machinery. Then we are really we worked on in different areas, hardware and software. This area was in another area, and they are now working together. I'm speaking about the study office. they will go in the ground floor of a factory on the right. So this will be the place where the study office will be placed because all our designers will be there. They will be closer to the production department in order to adapt to the different tasks that are needed. Then, speaking about partnerships, we decided to move this department, the study office, but then another part of the Horizon project is also an opportunity to look for new partnerships in Aix, Marseille, in other areas in order to be closer to our clients and to be closer to their know-how. So all these activities will be piloted by the main headquarters, but it will be possible to create a network with our customers, with our clients. Define the non-negotiable pillars for industrial transfer. First of all, security. We need to secure the transfer of the production site. We already did a benchmarking on this, so we try to do it we studied how this transfer was managed in other areas, in other factories similar to ours. And we had the chance to understand that we need to be supported by a professional intra-industrial transfer, and they are going to support us in all the phases to coordinate all activities and make sure that the industrial transfer is secure. Second pillar, keeping our commitments. We are working a lot. Our logistic and planification and supply team is working a lot because we want to make sure that each order is delivered on time. We already have some orders that the delivery date is 2022-23. It doesn't matter. We need to meet the deadline. So there should be no consequence on orders that have already been accepted. It could be that for some time we'll be working on two sites simultaneously to make sure that we can keep on working. And then there will be a part of a team that is going to make sure that the orders are respected, and so they will anticipate the supply. And then the third pillar, supporting change, because we know that any change is also creates also some worries. We know it, we're aware of it. This is the case for clients, but also for collaborators, employees. That is why we decided to involve them in the project. We organized lots and lots of virtual reality sessions so that they have the chance to have a look at the new project. Then I've already spoken about green belt and black belt employees, and they could see what is going to be the future of our factory. And some of our employees have volunteered to work on the design of collaborative spaces, third spaces, so that can be involved even more in the project. So we really worked on the involvement of our employees. Well, perhaps you are thinking, well, that is fine. Yes, but how is it going to be? You can see a timeline here. As you can see, we didn't start yesterday working on this project. I joined Matra Électronique in 2017, so I was not really the thinker, the person behind the idea of this project, because it started in 2016. It took quite a lot of time so that the idea of the project was ripe, and I am happy to say that the work have already started 2 days ago. There were the first, we started digging And so now what comes is the execution phase that is going to continue until autumn or summer, autumn 2021, 22, sorry. So we are working on the different phases of the work. So we will start working on the exterior, and then we will start with the interior in order to prepare the facility little by little gradually. So for us, what matters is not to have the building ready just at the end, because there will be different phases. So we decided to have a deadline. So we will start with the technical building and then the logistic building where we'll set the storage facility. So there will be different stages until the production area. Once we've had the building, we will start transferring the first collaborators and uh, the first functions. There will be a pilot phase. And when the employees will tell you that it's okay, we will be able to complete the transfer. The aim is to complete the transfer by the end of 2022, so winter 2022. And in 2023, we expect to be ready to start working completely in the new facility.